Hi, Bill. Love your shows and all your podcasts. Always agree with you. And yeah, I'm a 67-year-old woman, and I love the way you come up with your amazing advice for people, mainly the males who write in. So quickly. Anyway, if you want to know who killed JFK, look up Mortal Error on Wikipedia. About the book Mortal Error, the shot that killed JFK by Bonner Menninger, outlining the theory by sharpshooter, gunsmith, and ballistics expert Howard Donahue that a Secret Service agent in the limbo behind JFK accidentally fired the shot that killed Kennedy after he'd been shot in the neck by Oswald. I haven't read the book, but the doc was totally convincing. Love to you and your family. Wait a minute. You telling me some Secret Service guy pulled his gun out and shit himself and accidentally shot him in the... What? Now that's a brand new one. Hang on a second. JFK, fatal shot, Secret Service agent. Mortal Error. Conducting his own investigation, Donahue decided that the bullet that struck Kennedy in the head had in fact been fired by United States Secret Service agent George Warren Hickey Jr. Now you're going to put his fucking name out there like you can't even prove it? Okay, Mortal Error is a 1992 nonfiction book by Bonner Menninger, outlining a theory by sharpshooter. Oh, this person just sort of copied and pasted this. Menninger is also the author of And Hell Followed With It, Life and Death in a Kansas Tornado, which won Kansas's Notable Book Award in 2011. All right, that's interesting. Kansas's Notable Book Award. All right, I'm going to not do the easy joke there. Donahue first became interested in the story of the assassination of John F. Kennedy after participating in a recreation of the shooting as one of 11 invited marksmen and sharpshooters. He demonstrated that it would have been possible for Lee Harvey Oswald to have fired 3 shots in the time specified by the Warren Commission, and was the only one of the 11 to better the 5.6 window. However, the experience highlighted to Donahue other concerns regarding the Warren report, and in particular the fact that the testimony of the ballistics expert seems to have been completely omitted from the commission's evidence. I've already just zoned out. I don't know what I'm reading now. He believes Oswald's second shot through Kennedy's neck may have been already critically wounded the president by the time the third shot was fired. Donahue was encouraged in his investigations by Ralph Reppert, reporter of the Baltimore Sun. In 1977, Reppert published Donahue's theory in 2 articles, which appeared May 1st. Donahue reconstructed the trajectories of the shot that struck Kennedy, and Governor Connally supported the single bullet theory for a second shot. Donahue decided that the impossible trajectory suggested the Warren Commission was only necessary because there was an error. Oh, my God. All right, this is why you're never going to solve it. I can't fucking read all of that. All right. So he's saying that so he took the gun out. Because I've heard, cops back in the day when they had their 6-shooter, rookies, the first time they had to pull their gun out in a gunfight, by the time they brought it up level, they were empty. They were so freaking out, like, fuck. They were pulling it out, shooting at the ground and bringing it up. Click, 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 click. Well, that's interesting. That's an interesting theory. I have no idea. Sounds pretty good to me, man. Thanks for solving it. You heard it here. 44 years after the book came out. All right. First order as a dictator. Hey, Bill, longtime fan. I'm too high right now to come up with some alliterations, so I'll just get right to the point. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with mentally tapping out, just being like, you know what? I know my limitations. I'm not good at that shit. All right. If you were a dictator like Kim Jong-un or Adolf Hitler at the beginning of their reign, What would be the first bill or act you would do? I've been wondering what your response would be to this, as this idea popped up in my head multiple times as I drive through Atlanta traffic. Like if I was a dictator, I would get rid of all the cars in the country, every single one. I don't care how far your job is. I don't care if you have to get your kids, or even if your wife is pregnant. You better walk or take a fucking horse, because I'd be the only one with a car. God, I fucking hate Atlanta traffic. They just can't drive. Yeah, Atlanta will do that to you. All right, well, now that you went real selfish, do I have to go selfish too? If I was a dictator, NFL championships would count. It wouldn't start with the Super Bowl. NFL championships would count. That would be the first thing. That would be one. It would be a three-pronged attack. So that handles sports. I don't know. It's such a fucking big one. Like, what the fuck would I do? I have to do something. I would give massive tax breaks to people for not having kids. And an even bigger tax break if you didn't have a kid and you adopted instead. And then my goal would be to get the world population, but I'd only be running a country. I just see it, our country's population. Well, if you're a dictator, I could then tell the banks, well, you can never get out from under the banks, even if you're a dictator. I would have the fucking my militia take out the bankers. We'd start all over again on a new currency. And nobody owed any money. Everything is forgiven. And everybody, you come back in with the new currency, which I don't understand why they can't do this. If everybody just agrees to it, all right? Everybody just comes back in. Whatever you have in the bank is what you still have in the bank, except you don't fucking owe anybody anything. All right? I would then have 1 4-day weekend every single month. Not just Thanksgiving. There'd be a 4-day weekend every single month. Okay? And you think, well, why are you doing that, Bill? That's going to make the economy tank. I don't give a fuck. Because the people who will eventually want to rise up against me, I think it's going to take a long time. Hey, he's a good shit, man. He gives you a fucking Thanksgiving weekend, 11 extra Thanksgiving weekends. I would do I'd do away with dress down Fridays. I think that was the beginning of the end of a lot of respectful ways that people do business. The hostile way now. I would do away now. Another thing too, that corporations would have to go back to answering their fucking phones. And not be like, I'm sorry, that's not an option. Main menu. And just send you back to that first one again. Fuck that. I'd get rid of that. Oh, geez, I'm on a fucking roll now. I don't know. Then I would just do a bunch of things for emissions. Get everybody's emissions down. Not saying you have to go to electric cars or solar panels. Just whatever we needed to do. And really educate people on consumption and all that type of stuff and what we're doing to the environment. And then you'd have to deal with how we get along with each other. I don't know. I would just try to set up some things that made people want to help out other people, educate other people that weren't doing as well. You kind of have to do that. And then there have to be some sort of test that, just because you're poor doesn't mean you're... So you got to make sure that if you're going to help out less fortunate people, they're actually worthy of it. Because just like not all rich people are assholes, not all poor people are saints. So you kind of weed out. I don't know how the fuck you would do that. Yeah, that's a big one. But if I just had to do one, the one thing that I would do, I would try to do some sort of sweeping change that would fucking stop this, global warming horse shit. I would try to do that just so, you see kids. You're like, what kind of world are they going to have?